Hi, my name is Brittany Evans. I currently teach in Northern York County School District as a first grade teacher at Northern Elementary School. I'm a member of the Science Curriculum Committee, which has helped to give me a voice in the direction of our science program. I also joined a small cohort of teachers in my building to begin aligning our math vocabulary and problem-solving processes this year. I coach for a program called Girls on the Run, which is an after-school running program to empower girls in 3rd through 5th grade. I am working to attain my master's in assessment, curriculum, and teaching with a STEM concentration. I elected to take the STEM concentration because I strongly believe creating a classroom environment where students can be innovators and solve problems. Children are naturally inquisitive, and as a first grade teacher, I want my students to be empowered to ask questions and search for answers. I believe the STEM program offers guidance and support in making me the teacher coach I desire to be for my students. I am married to my college sweetheart, Joshua. This summer we celebrated our 2nd wedding anniversary. He currently serves in the U.S. Air Force. He is my #1 supporter, and I can always count on him to laugh at my first grade sense of humor. My sister Brianna is my best friend and partner in crime. We love to go hiking and running together. My nephew Grayson will be turning 1 this October, and he is my little swimming buddy. My husband and I purchased fishing kayaks this spring. You can bet if we are both off, we are out on the lake or river. I also enjoy hiking and finding new trails to explore, along with running and water sports like wakeboarding. This summer we were able to visit our friends out in California, which meant I was able to hike in the Redwood Territory, which has always been one of my dreams. I also enjoy running, so I decided to combine my love for hiking and running and sign up for a half marathon trail run, which is actually this coming weekend. When looking at the 7 strategies and 6 parts, there were several similarities that I saw across the board. The theme, Where Am I Going?, presented through the 7 strategies, made a connection between Strategy 1 and BPA instructional video prior to having students complete their individual report. Both aim to present learning targets in a clear manner. The theme, Where Am I Now?, presented through the 7 strategies, connected through the strategies 3 and 4, descriptive feedback and self-assessing, which tied with the group discussion and self-correction. The elements of feedback come through the group discussion. The elements of self-assessing come through the self-correction after the group interaction and conversation. The theme, Where Am I Now?, presented through the 7 strategies, had a connection through strategy 3 and 7, feedback, tracking, reflecting, and sharing, and the group report. The group is giving feedback and reflecting in order to summarize and finalize their learning, which immediately reminded me of the quote, "By reflecting on their learning, they deepen their understanding and will remember it longer," from our textbook on page 14. The theme, How Can I Close the Gap?, presented through the 7 strategies, had a connection with strategy 3 and strategy 7, again, of feedback, tracking, reflecting, and sharing, and the oral presentation. Once students have reflected and given feedback to each other, they are able to share their learning with the whole class. Again, I was reminded of the quote from our textbook, "By sharing their progress, students develop a deeper commitment to making progress," which was also found on page 14. While there are many similarities, I also found some differences. The overarching differences relied on the terminology. 7 strategies is an assessment for learning, whereas the 6 parts is an assessment as learning. This differentiates them both in terms of purpose and methods. The 7 strategies gather data to guide instruction. The keyword guide means the information from the assessment is used to then guide the learning. In the 6 parts, students are monitoring their own learning with self-correction during the assessment. The methods also differentiated. The 7 strategies uses the reteach and address misconceptions, while as the 6 parts focuses on a collaborative performance task. When looking at my current practices, I would say it best aligns with the 7 strategies of assessment for learning. By using rubrics, I incorporate the where am I going mentality. By using checklists, I am incorporating the where am I now. And by conducting student conferences, I address both where am I now through glows and grows, and how can I close the gap with grows and goals. While I do not specifically use the 6 parts of assessment as learning, I can see how it would be beneficial in a math setting, especially when working on word problems and problem-solving skills. So I plan on attempting to implement this strategy. Thank you for viewing my community conversation presentation.